Of another major winter storm last month that really brought the city to a standstill. A number of people losing their lives in that storm because of the cold and the difficult conditions. So we are expecting to hear from Mayor Mamdani shortly, as the New York City area is under a blizzard warning as this major winter storm approaches. The storm expected to bring as high as 28 inches of snow to certain parts, with parts of New Jersey seeing closer to 30 inches. So the snow is starting to fall just a little bit in New York. A live look here. As you can see, the overcast skies and some of the snowflakes beginning to fall. But really, it's going to ramp up this afternoon. It's going to continue falling until tomorrow evening. And New York City bracing for the first blizzard in more than a decade, as remnants of the last major snowfall still remain across the city. So we are, of course, going to bring this update to you as soon as it gets underway. And for more on this, we do want to turn to our Fox weather team as they continue their coverage.
This generational event leading to rare blizzard warnings for nearly 35 million people from Philadelphia to Boston. New York and New Jersey governors declaring states of emergency ahead of this historic nor'easter. Snowfall totals of 1 to more than 2 feet expected along much of the I-95 corridor. Intense snow rates and strong winds likely to create dangerous and life-threatening travel conditions. Scattered power outages, a likelihood, and this storm could rank among the top 10 in several major cities, possibly even the top 5, depending on how it shakes out. Snowstorms on record. There we have it. Fox Weather, your Winter Storm HQ, wall-to-wall live coverage continues this afternoon through tonight. We have our team spread out from the Jersey Shore to eastern Massachusetts as we track this historic nor'easter. Blizzard conditions bearing down on the I-95 corridor and could become one of the most significant snow events in years. Welcome into Fox Weather's live coverage of the 2026 blizzard. I'm meteorologist Jane Menard. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday. With me through 4 o'clock Eastern, but Bob, you're going to be out there. Bob Van Dillen in Manasquan, New Jersey. You're home, quite literally, when we talk about Jersey Shore impacts.
Yeah, it seems like it. This is the 4th time I've been here since this past August, and it's been a couple of hurricanes that just missed us and a couple of nor'easters, and this is a big one, and this is going to be a snowmaker, and there's no question. But I was watching this with you, Jane, the radar picture. It's been all rain so far, and that's what we expected right around the Jersey Shore, but that cold line is now, looks to me, marching down from the north to the south. It's by I-78 right now, so if you're familiar with the area, looks like that's where that rain snow line is going to be located at least next few hours. But then by later this afternoon, Jane, once it starts over and we turn it to snow, it looks like that is going to be the main form all the way for about 18 hours, maybe as much as 24 hours.
Absolutely. And then we talk about the intense snow bands that are going to set up. And Bob, you know, you find yourself underneath one of those snow bands, and that's where we start to talk about these blockbuster numbers, right? When we're seeing snow totals that are upwards of 2-3 feet in some areas. So this is, I mean, you talked about, I know you're just chatting with Michael Estime and Nick Koser out of Weather Command Weekend, and you know, a storm with these types of numbers, it's rare, especially for the I-95, and to see it come to fruition, I mean, it would be one of the first times in my life that we've been able to see something like this.
Yeah, I bet you don't remember the last time the entire state of New Jersey was under a blizzard warning, all 21 counties. That was 30 years ago, Jane. That was 1996 with a blockbuster storm that rolled right up the coast. The entire state of New Jersey, all the counties, all the way down through Delaware, blizzard warnings. And when you tally it all together, major cities, Philly, New York, that's 35 million people under a blizzard warning that started technically here at about 10 a.m., but it's going to last through 6 p.m. tomorrow. Now, it's going to be a heavy, wet snow, Jane, as well. But even though the snow is going to end and taper off by tomorrow afternoon, the blowing snow, the drifting snow, that is going to be a huge problem on the roads for the next 36 hours, even after that.
And Bob, I think the wind component to this, we really have to drive that home, because snow is impressive every single time, especially when you're talking a foot of snow in the forecast. But the wind aspect of this, we haven't seen a blizzard, at least blizzard-like conditions in New York City since 2017. And so we really have to kind of kind of rack our brain to see what that impact would look like. And I think I do worry more so about the winds. Could end up being one of the biggest calling cards of this storm. Yes, it's a wet, heavy snow, but you're right, the drifting snow component, that is what's going to make it such a challenge to keep up with the road conditions. Those crews will be working overtime. Look at New York City right now, snow starting.
Oh, there it is.
And now, of course, we're up in height on the top of the skyscraper here. But I mean, it's starting to mix in. It is a wet snow, and that's going to really be the case through start to finish, Bob. I mean, the heavy nature of this is almost going to be like concrete weighing down on those power lines and tree branches with those 50, 60 mile an hour wind gusts. That is why we have such a high likelihood of power outages and perhaps even some damage out on the east end of Massachusetts. The National Weather Service calling for near destructive impacts.
Oh, my gosh. Well, you know what? I was looking at the surface charts, and that's a 1050 millibar high edging into Ontario for later on tonight through tomorrow. That's a huge high-pressure air mass. I mean, that's almost off the charts when you look at its QT chart, if you get into the weeds. Then you add the fact that this storm itself, the pressure is going to dip possibly below 970 millibars. I mean, that is impressive as it bombs out across the relatively warmer waters of the Atlantic right by that benchmark. The difference in pressures, that pressure gradient, Shane, right out of the northeast. It's a nor'easter. Oh, there's that rain snow line too, right? So I'm in Manasquan. I'm on the border essentially. Yeah, I'm on the border essentially with Monmouth and Ocean County. I'm standing in Monmouth County. Behind me, you can see the inlet. There's actually some swells now, Jane, too. If you look at this, when I first got here, it was glassy. Now that the winds have picked up, when I first got here, winds were out of the east at about 10 miles per hour. Now they're between 15 and 20 miles per hour sustained. Now we're starting to see the swells coming. Here comes one right up the gut. So we've got the inlet getting a little bit of action. So as that wind picks up, the wave action is going to pick up. The coastal flooding is going to be a concern, especially the 11 o'clock high tide cycle tonight. So we'll get to that in just a little bit as well. So you showed it. You showed the camera in New York City. The snow is out there. I can't wait to see this. Meteorologist Haley Meyer has been out there in Times Square. I've been watching her all morning long. Haley, what's going on? Has it switched over even down at the surface?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely, Bob. I mean, earlier today, it was pure rain. Then it was a little bit of a rain-snow mix.
Okay, well, in a bright spot of good news, I want to congratulate our Olympians, especially our U.S. hockey team, for the first gold medal since the Miracle on Ice. And I'm especially pleased to report that our New Jersey Devil, Jack Hughes, was truly the hero of the day. That is your good news. Unfortunately, now we are going to turn to the situation here on the ground in New Jersey, and I really appreciate everyone joining us for this important storm update. With me here today is New Jersey State Police Acting Superintendent and State Director of Emergency Management, David Sorotowicz, Department of Transportation Acting Commissioner Priya Jain, President and CEO of New Jersey Transit and Executive Director of New Jersey Turnpike Authority, Chris Calori, New Jersey Board of Public Utilities, Director of Reliability and Security, Frank Gaffney. Yesterday, I declared a state of emergency beginning at noon today for all 21 counties. As we are preparing for this dangerous storm, we have heard significantly worsening forecasts. This morning, I was briefed again by the National Weather Service and will continue to receive those briefings throughout the day. The entire state of New Jersey, all 21 counties, is under a blizzard warning for the first time in 30 years. This is likely to be the worst storm that we have seen since 1996. There is a 90% likelihood of the whole state getting a foot of snow or more. The coast especially could see 2 or more feet, along with a flooding risk. The worst is expected overnight into tomorrow morning, when snowfalls could reach as much as 3 inches per hour. To put that in perspective, our January storm, which was considered a very bad storm at its height, had about 1 inch per hour. So these are considerably worse conditions that we are facing even from that bad storm in January. So I've been saying to people, if you've seen one storm this winter, you've seen one storm this winter. This is going to be very different. It is a serious storm, so please take it seriously. Stay inside. Get off the roads tonight. In our last storm, I said don't travel if you don't have to. Now I'm just saying don't travel tonight. It's dangerous. This is a very heavy, wet snow. There are incredibly high winds, up to 60 miles per hour. That means that we could see branches and trees falling into the highway, drifts and whiteout conditions. It will be incredibly dangerous. Do not travel tonight. It's time to stay home. Let the road crews, emergency workers, and utility workers do their jobs. At 3 p.m., a commercial vehicle ban will take effect on all of our highways except the Turnpike, which is an interstate highway. I'm now announcing speed restrictions of 35 miles per hour, which will also take effect at 3 p.m. For now, New Jersey Transit is still running buses and trains. It'll work to do so throughout the day so people can get home safely. But we will be suspending service at 6 p.m. today on all buses, light rail, and access link. Currently, we expect trains to run into this evening, but we are likely to suspend service sometime tonight, and we'll be announcing that. This storm is too serious to have people and workers out on public transit in the worst of it. We are also, as I said, expecting severe gale force winds of up to 60 miles per hour along the coast, 45 miles per hour inland. Again, this is different from our last storm. These winds are much stronger. We also anticipate that wet, heavy snow will cause power outages throughout the state as branches and trees fall. The Board of Public Utilities is working with utility providers to be ready. But please, if your electricity goes out, report that power outage to your public utility. Don't wait for your neighbor to do so. That will enable our public utility companies to respond as quickly as possible and get New Jerseyans back up and online. We are going to get through this, but please heed the warnings and stay off the roads. Your safety is my top priority. I've directed our transportation heads to clear state roads as fast and as efficiently as possible. Across New Jersey, we have 101,000 tons of salt for the Turnpike and Parkway alone. That is on top of what the counties have, and we have checked with all of our emergency managers in all of our counties to ensure they have their salt. We have 350,000 tons for the other state roads. 4,500 pieces of equipment are deployed and ready to go. We have thousands of crews and contractors in place. Their trucks are loaded and ready to go. All of these workers deserve our thanks. As we saw in our last storm, New Jersey is lucky to have the best public servants in the nation. We have people from our DPW, our Departments of Public Works, troopers, and transit and utility workers spread out across the state to keep people safe and to keep New Jersey moving. Let's also not forget that our FEMA workers who are embedded with our emergency managers are now working without pay due to the current administration's inability to keep the government open, so they too deserve a debt of gratitude. All of these workers deserve our thanks. We can repay them by staying off the roads so that they can do their jobs. Our State Emergency Operations Center will be staffed 24/7 in all 21 counties, and the Lieutenant Colonel will share more about this next. But first, I said it yesterday, I'm going to say it again, stay off the roads. Stay home, keep your phones and computers charged, stay in tomorrow, check in on your neighbors, especially the elderly. State offices are closed for Monday. Follow your telework protocols. Go to ready.nj.gov for information on warming centers and roads. We'll keep monitoring the situation. I'll continue speaking to you throughout this storm and its aftermath. So now I'm going to turn it over to Acting Superintendent of the State Police, David Sirotowicz.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you very much and good afternoon. As the governor just said, a blizzard warning has been issued for the entire state of New Jersey. Please take this warning seriously and finalize all of your preparations now. Rain has already arrived across the state, but this will be turning over to snow beginning midday today. We'll be closely coordinating with representatives from the National Weather Service throughout this storm, and they will be providing us with regular winter updates. Snow-covered roads and gusty winds will cause reduced visibility, which will cause potentially life-threatening travel. So as the governor said, please stay off the roads. Remember, roads can wait, your life can't. Coastal flood warnings remain in place for many counties in the state. This means many roadways can flood in coastal and bayside communities close to tidal waterways. Remember, if you see a roadway that may be flooded, turn around, don't drown. Our State Emergency Operations Center has activated to a Level 2 activation as of 12 p.m. today, and they will remain activated throughout the duration of the storm. This allows us to remain in close connection with all of our local counties and state partners to remain connected throughout the entire state so we can coordinate all of our response efforts. Also, the State Emergency Operations Center will continue monitoring for any requests for state assistance from our county and local partners. Our search and rescue personnel are available should we need them for this storm. They have specialized equipment and training to support any requests where needed. This includes high-wheeled vehicles as well as snowmobiles. If you need assistance finding a warming center closest to you, visit nj211.org for updated Code Blue information. Our state patrols also have additional personnel assisting them today from many of our specialized state police units to cover all of our roadways and ensure the safety of all of our patrons. Tips for our residents. Again, please make all of your final preparations now. Fill up your vehicle with a full tank of gas. Charge all of your cell phones and your devices. Check on your elderly. We say this every time, your neighbors. We are a community here in New Jersey. Make sure everybody is safe. If you do not have to travel, as the governor said, please stay off the roadways. This allows our snow removal crews to clear the roadways safely, as well as the safety of all of our residents. If you also see an emergency vehicle with lights activated, please slow down and move over. Allow them to do their job. Finally, you can stay updated this storm by visiting ready.nj.gov. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you. And next we'll have Acting Commissioner Priya Jain.
Thank you, Governor, for your continued leadership to inform our residents ahead of this major blizzard. As the Governor has mentioned, this is a record event with the heaviest snow, strongest winds, and blizzard conditions expected Sunday night into Monday. NJDOT crews and contractors are already on duty and will be in position as the snow increases this afternoon and evening. Crew will work around the clock through the storm and after the storm passes to ensure roads are clear and safe. NJDOT has up to 3,400 spreaders and plows that will be deployed to keep the interstate and state highways clear. SJTA has 83 plows to keep the Atlantic City Expressway clear. Between midnight and 6 a.m., snowfall is expected to be as much as 2 to 3 inches per hour. Please stay off the road so the crews can do their job in cleaning the roads. Motorists are encouraged to check the New Jersey DOT's traffic information website, 511nj.gov, for real-time travel information. I would like to thank all of our crews, contractors, and emergency personnel that will be working tirelessly over the next few days. Again, please stay safe, and once again, please avoid unnecessary travel during the storm. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I will have President CEO of New Jersey Transit, Chris Calori.
Thank you, Governor. I want to join the Governor and my partners in thanking all our crews. I want to, in particular, thank the 15,000 employees that work at New Jersey Transit and New Jersey Turnpike Authority. Our focus at the Turnpike and Parkway is obviously to make sure we are fully prepared and have our people pre-positioned to handle the snow. We have 1,600 people and 1,200 pieces of equipment to do just that. Once you leave here, you'll see we are following the governor's lead and making sure our message boards ask people to stay off the roads starting tonight. So this is an important message. We want the residents to heed that message so we can get the roads cleared as quickly as possible. At Transit, we've always said our job, we don't believe, is to run a system till it is unsafe. We run a system till we get our folks to the final destination that they want to get to. That is our focus. As the governor said, we believe we can do that with the bus, light rail, and access link till 6 p.m. today. We'll try to continue to run the trains as long as we can and give the governor our recommendation if the conditions change. Equally important, our buses and our trains, light rails trains and access link assets are being moved into garages and maintenance facilities so they can be cleaned, maintained, and when the service is back up, we're able to do it as efficiently as possible. Again, we're grateful to the governor's leadership, and equally important, we want to make sure our residents pay attention to this particular event because it is nothing like we have seen in 30 years. Thank you, Governor.
Thank you. All right. Now we'll hear from Board of Public Utilities Director of Reliability and Security, Frank Gaffney.
Thank you, Governor. And once again, thank you for your leadership in making sure the state of New Jersey is well prepared for this event. This is a very serious storm. It is possible the state will see multiple outages from heavy snow and high winds, especially along the coast. Please take this storm seriously. Your safety and the safety of your pets is very important to us. The electric distribution companies are holding crews, have added contractors, and have acquired mutual aid, some from far away as Ohio. Although they are well staffed, they cannot be everywhere. It may be some time if you have an outage before you will be restored. Board staff will continue to monitor the storm and the utility response until every customer is restored. We want to thank our police officers, our firefighters, our transit workers, our DPW workers, and the utility workers. The governor is right. They're the best in the nation. Please keep them in your thoughts. Although this is a serious storm, it is not something that we cannot handle. New Jersey is prepared, New Jersey resilient, and New Jersey is strong. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Now I'll open it up for a few on-topic questions.
On buses and light rail systems run mostly on local streets, so the weather conditions are dramatically different than on tracks. Tracks, we're able to run it to a point till wind and snow becomes an issue. So that's the difference. Look, I think my job is to make sure the governor is fully briefed on the evolving events and give our recommendations on the service when it can come back.
In your experience, when should people really be thinking they're not going to expect the free?
Look, I mean, we have committed to the governor that we're working with our partners, Amtrak. As you know, they run the Northeast Corridor. In fact, I just talked to the president there a few hours ago. We are working with them. As soon as we have a clear indication on when we think we can reasonably run till, our job is to make sure the governor's briefed and then and give her a recommendation. So it'll be in the next several hours we'll make this.
But reasonably, people should anticipate the trains will shut down tonight. All right, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Fall can still be seen in parts of the city because it's just been that cold. And happening right now, New York City Mayor Mamdani and New York City officials are also holding a briefing that got started shortly after we started with New Jersey. So what we're going to do is we are going to step away for a brief moment, but we're going to play that out in its entirety as millions of people in the Northeast bracing for a historic winter storm. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Live Now from Fox on this Sunday. I'm Stephanie Quinu. Millions of people up and down the East Coast and specifically in the Northeast are bracing for a historic winter storm where parts could see up to 30 inches of snow. This is a social media post by New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani saying that we haven't seen a storm like this in a decade. Some parts of the city could see up to 28 inches. Please stay inside if you can. And if you see someone on the street in need of assistance, call 311. He is providing the very latest briefing alongside other New York City officials. Let's listen in.
Hello, New York. This morning, a mix of snow and rain began to fall across our city. Over the course of the day, conditions are predicted to grow increasingly more severe, with the heaviest snow falling between 9 p.m. tonight and 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Snowfall will become more moderate as Monday progresses, tapering off around 8 p.m. In total, this storm is projected to drop between 18 and 24 inches across New York City, coming up to 28 inches in certain areas. New Yorkers should also expect dangerous winds. Later today, they are predicted to reach 35 miles per hour, with peak speeds of 40 miles per hour and 60 mile per hour isolated gusts occurring tomorrow morning around 8 a.m. These are blizzard conditions. New York City has not faced a storm of this scale in the last decade. As a result, we expect to see moderate coastal flooding of up to 2.5 feet during high tide, with a chance of it increasing to 3 feet along Staten Island, the Rockaways, and the Battery. If you are in a coastal area that normally floods during tide cycles, you may see flooding. Please stay alert and make sure to move cars ahead of high tide to higher ground. If you live in a basement apartment, Notify NYC has a special category for you. You can sign up for the basement alert group at nyc.gov/notify. We have activated additional high water rescue teams should flooding grow dire, and DEP will also be inspecting catch basins to make sure that water can drain properly. If you see a clogged catch basin, please call 311 to prevent street flooding. Additionally, temperatures dropping into the 20s overnight will result in slippery streets, sidewalks, and extremely hazardous conditions across our city. Due to these factors, we are declaring a state of emergency and instituting a travel ban starting at 9 p.m. this evening and ending at 12 p.m. tomorrow. This state of emergency closes the streets, highways, and bridges of New York City for all traffic, cars, trucks, scooters, and e-bikes, with some specific exemptions for essential and emergency movement. We are asking New Yorkers to avoid all non-essential travel. Please, for your safety, stay home